Hi, good afternoon. My name is Gabriel, and I'm currently applying for an English teaching position at Uni School. And I'm recording this video to answer some questions regarding the position that was requested by Gerson, and it's part of the application process. So, the first question is, why did you decide to become a teacher? And I decided to become a teacher because I wanted to inspire other people's lives through attitudes, through actions. So when you act through someone in order to change the world, that means to be an educator. And this was the first thing that moved me forward in order to become a teacher. Another thing that has had a great impact onto my decision to be a teacher was that I am the child of two professors. Well, I can't deny this influenced me a lot on deciding to follow the educational path. The second question is, what methods do you have for working with diverse students? Personally, I don't believe in diversity when it comes to neurodiversity because every single student is an individual. So we have to treat every single student as unique, as a unique student. So I am one, you are one, Gerson is one student. So everybody has a learning style and everybody follows a different learning path. So adaptability is a key concept when it comes to learning and teaching. So we have to scaffold learning no matter who we're talking about or with whom we're talking to. We have to talk to everybody as if education was, as a matter of fact, an unique science. Uh, so scaffolding is a good strategy for diverse students. Adaptability, maybe using converse materials, maybe learning about students' needs, what do they need in order to learn, and then we transform and transfigure materials to reach whatever that student need to get to that level of learning. This is something we have to analyze to have a great outcome in terms of curriculum. The third question is, how do you plan to promote disciplined classrooms? There is something called positive discipline, and positive discipline relies on respect. So whenever you have respect in your classroom and you establish respectful relationships with your students, you hardly ever face disruptive behaviors. I know it might sound weird or strange or even outrageous to say that indiscipline doesn't happen, but you have to be able to convey an idea that you are the teacher, that you are the authority in the classroom in a respectful way. So you have to be the coordinator of the classroom at the same time that you are friends with your learners. Please do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying that a teacher should be friends with students. I don't believe in that fallacy. I do think teachers should be friendly, but being friendly with someone doesn't mean to be friends with someone. It just means to be gentle, to be polite, and to follow some guidelines. So, respect is the foundation of everything. How do you respond to conflicts in your classroom? I already mentioned that through respectful arguments and conveying my idea in a respectful way. What methods and technologies do you use in teaching? I think AI is here to stay, so we have to integrate technology in our everyday class. This that I'm using to record my presentation video is here to stay. So smartphones are here to stay, and we have to find a way to use it to promote learning in the classroom. So I use it to instigate my students to research and to find the way to the correct answers. A long time ago, I created a workshop based on Jerry Carey's idea of demand high teaching, and it said, demand high teaching, look for learning, not only for right answers. And it said that because students already have access to right answers, they are everywhere. We have to look for learning, not only for right answers. And this is the focus of my whole teaching background and teaching philosophy. How do you involve parents in the educational process? Oh, first of all, parents need to understand that they are important. They are one of the pillars of the educational process. Without them, the process is leaking. Without parents, we have lots of potholes in the middle of the highway of learning. So parents need to understand that they are important in the learning process. It's not only about teachers and it's not only about learners, but it's about the whole teaching and learning community. If the whole teaching and learning community are integrated, then learning is able to take place. So, in my ideal school and ideal context, I would drive parents through a reflection in which they would understand the perfect role of a mom and a dad in the relationship of their child and learning. So, providing the enough amount of support in completing a homework assignment, for example, or promoting autonomy tasks at home, or making children research in a positive way. Don't answer homework for your children, answer homework with your children. How to motivate your children to learn. What is a reading log? How do I complete a reading log, for example? And this is something very, very important. And this is something that we have to make parents understand, provided that they are not from the educational world, so they don't know the science behind teaching and they don't know the science behind education. Now, do they? And then the last question is, how do you motivate students? When it comes to motivation, we have to understand, well, this is a paradigm that is fairly old, that there are two types of motivation. There is the extrinsic motivation and the intrinsic motivation. We are responsible for the motivation that comes from the outside, and we have to show them why they're learning something and why that little something is important. When we show them the reason why they are learning that given subject, then they reflect on their lifestyle with that given subject, and then they give the needed importance to that. And this is how they feel motivated with it. Another way that I often apply in my everyday praxis, this is a Latin word, praxis, but I like to use it even when I'm speaking English, especially when I'm communicating with another educator. It means practice. Is to talk to my students as equals, and I try to drive my lessons not as lectures. So I don't lecture my students. I talk to them as if I were having an everyday conversation, and then I embed the subject in my everyday conversations with my students, and then they feel like it's just another every week or routine conversation, and they feel comfortable sharing their idea and thoughts. And when they don't even realize they are sharing their thoughts and ideas using my objected language. So I have a goal. My goal is for them to use, let's say, present perfect or present perfect continuous. I start using the language as naturally as possible, and by the end of the day they are using the language as naturally as possible. Well, I'm sorry. I guess I've spoken for a little bit more than 5 minutes, but I managed to cover all of the questions you've asked me, and that's all for the video. I hope to have a grasp of the results soon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you around. Bye bye. Cheers from Brazil.